Queen of United Kingdom. Her reign was for 70 years. This is the longest of any British monarch and second longest when it comes to sovereign country. We know that yesterday was time of demise of the Queen, and we will not go through a full biography, but I want to pinpoint the very interesting point in this chart. So we will do the standard thing. We will go through the Navamsha. We'll be talking about the Raja Yoga, the Dasha. Here we can apply the variation Dasha, so we will see how we will apply this. Also the time and circumstances of death using the Aruda and using the 12th house in the Navamsha. So now let's roll the intro. So what is known in the Shastra as the Raja Yoga are various groups of planetary combinations which are giving us the success, the influence, and so on. We have also the Dana Yoga, which are bringing us the wealth. We have the Demand Yoga, which are bringing the person high intelligence. We have also the Daridra Yogas, which are giving a problem, the challenges in finances. So there are many groups of planetary combination, and this is very much related to Vedic astrology. You don't have that in Western astrology or any other tradition, especially when it comes to naming those yogas and the source, which is coming from the Shastra. So we have something which are planetary combinations, which are named and are giving particular results. This is very important because the one planet placement is much of lesser importance, meaning, and it's also less rare. So it's also therefore less valuable, less meaningful as the whole yogas. So there are yogas which are a combination of planets which have 2 planets but also can have 5, like for example Graha Malika Yoga, which we will also be discussing soon. So the most popular Raja Yoga is between the Kendra and Trikona. The Kendra is first, 4, 7, and 10. So these are the fundamental houses, and the Trikona will be the 5th and 9th, especially the Kona. When we talk about the Kona, this is the 5th and 9th. Also, if the Sun is in Sagittarius in Navamsha, the person is going more into moksha, spirituality. If Sun is in Gemini, then it's more into a Bhoga, which is the material enjoyment and success. In Elizabeth 2 charts, we have the Sun in the Gemini with the Rahu, which is also supporting this direction, exalted in Rashi Navamsha. So this is Vargotam in Rashi and Navamsha, this Rahu. So this is very much supporting this material line direction. First and fourth lord, which is Jupiter, and this has to be connected somehow to the Trikona lords here. 5th lord would be Mars, 9th lord will be Sun. So either Mars or Sun has to be connected to Jupiter or Mercury to bring Raja Yoga for Sagittarius. And here we have Jupiter with the Mars and with the Atma Karaka, and this Amatya Karaka, which is Mars, is with the Atma Karaka. So we have very strong Raja Yoga in the 2nd house. So now we'll be talking about the Dasha. Dasha is the order of planets which is working in your chart. For example, you have Venus, which is a 20-year period. After the Venus, then you have Sun period for 6 years, then you have Moon period for 10 years. And these big periods, they are also divided into sub-periods of 2-3 years. So if you have this big period and sub-period, so you know which planet is activated now in your life. And then you can see this planet in the chart to understand what areas are working for you, where you have the problem, and what is basically under the focus in the particular point of time. So you can just draw your chart, you can go to any software like Devaguru, draw your birth details and see which planet were active in your life, and then see in which houses they are placed. For example, let's say from 2000 till 2003, you could be under Jupiter. Now, if Jupiter would be in 12, you could go abroad, because 12 is also about going abroad. If it's in 7th house, you could have some relationships or marriage. If it's 4th house, you could have something to do with property and so on. So by using this Dasha, we are now adding the time into the whole structure, so it is becoming the dynamic mechanism. So among the Dashas, the most popular and supported by Parashara Muni is the Vimshotri Dasha. This is the Nakshatra Dasha. They are Nakshatra Dashas and Rasi Dashas. There are also a few other types, but these 2 are most important. So the Nakshatra is also Vimshotri, and Vimshotri is the normal from the moon, which is called Janmam Vimshotri, and also the variation Vimshotri. So many people are now confused how to use them. Recently I got a comment, how you are using the moon Vimshotri and the variation Vimshotri in the same chart. This is, you you shouldn't be doing that because then you have so many options and you can justify everything. I understand the place from which the person is saying that, but there is difference because the event in the surrounding, event in the outside world is the moon Vimshotri, but your response to it, what you are doing, is the variation Vimshotri. So it is giving us confusion, but also if you get the understanding how these two differs, this can give you additional information. This is action and reaction. So this can be quite useful. Okay guys, if you like this video, please click the like button. You're helping me with this video, making it more viral on this YouTube platform. So it doesn't cost you anything. Just click that like button and subscribe if you'd like to get notified about similar Vedic astrology videos in the future. So now let's go back to this video. Now the important thing, the most important point about this chart is Graha Malika Yoga. There are something which is called the meta yogas. They are dominating the whole other yogas in the chart. So we have like Kala Sarpa Yoga, Kala Amrita Yoga, because the whole chart is under the grip of these two planets. And it's the Graha Malika Yoga, this is the same. So the first planet and the ending planet, they are most important. But what is the Graha Malika? This is when the planet is house by house. We have planet in first house, planet in second house, in third. So this is like garland of planets. And in this garland, the ending and the beginning planets are most important because they will decide what is happening. So here the 12th house is Saturn, and normally we say that it is starting from a Dushtana, so should be quite inauspicious, can push the person more into austere life, or even we say it's good for you to go into austere life, at least for some years in life. But in this example, like pointed by my Guruji, Saturn and Mars, they have parivartana, they have exchange. So now this is changing the Pravraja into Raja. So you see the parivartana is change. If there is parivartana, it is exchanging the results. What was expected is different, but it can be totally different. Like in this case, from this Saturn to this Mars and Jupiter, this big Raja Yoga we have said about 4th and 5th and Lagna Lord and 5th Lord. So we have two Raja Yogas, and additionally on the level of Charakaraka, right? Atma Karaka with Amatya Karaka. Charakarakas are the same planets, but their meaning and hierarchy is based on the degrees. So the planet with the highest degrees is the Atma Karaka, which shows your spirit, something which is between the soul and your mind. And the Amatya Karaka is all about your work and mission in life, your calling. So Atma Karaka and Amatya Karaka together, this is making normally someone who is Karma Yogi. Soul, Atma Karaka, is dedicated to Karma, the Amatya Karaka. So this is Karma Yogi. Means someone dedicated to professional life, to career life. The whole life is about the career life. This same thing applies when you have the same degree of Atma Karaka and Amatya Karaka. This can also you find in Sanjayji chart. I also have this in my chart. So Atma Karaka and Amatya Karaka have the same degree. These people may be very much focused on some kind of mission, direction, career life, project, and so on. Now the ending of this Graha Malika is very, very important because it is ending in Aries. Aries is always showing the capital of the country and the Sun exalted, right? So this is like very royal chart. Rahu exalted, Sun exalted, ending the Graha Malika and the 5th house. So we have two Raja Yoga houses, 10th and 5th. The 5th is even more important when we talk about the people. So here we have this Sun exalted, and this is 9th Lord exalted. So this is high Dharma in the 5th house. And what's more, this is 10th from the moon. So this is showing the career life, this is showing the fame of the person. So this is very much strong. And the dispositor of that Sun is the Mars in that Raja Yoga in the 2nd house of families. So this is the Raja Yoga of the families, and this is very much related to 10th house from the moon. So it has, the 10th from the moon has to support the Raja Yoga, and this is the perfect example to show how these planets, how these yogas are dancing together. 10th from moon, Graha Malika Yoga, and this Kendra Kona Raja Yoga. Now the Ketu is the Moksha Karaka. So we have these nodes of the moon. In Vedic astrology we are using them very much. Rahu is showing more material life, material direction. Rahu is more about material life, desires, directions. Very good for research, very good for looking in the dark for things, so can be very strong trendsetter. So have a many good options. And also Ketu is a spiritual planet. So it is all about the moksha karaka, because it is showing the being free from desires, going into that minimal lifestyle, which is the sattva guna. People who are into yoga, meditation, they don't want to collect things. They rather want to go inside, right? This journey is inside. So this could also show introverts and things like that. Ketu hates the rajas. So this Ketu Venus, Ketu Mercury may show problematic things for this material life. And also this Jupiter Ketu, very good yoga. So Jupiter Ketu, they like each other. There is this showing Parampara yoga. So this is showing the elephant head. So now you have a lot of knowledge coming from the tradition, the blessings of some teacher or tradition on you. And then we have this Venus Ketu Saturn. So that's Tapashvi yoga we were discussing also. So you can see this Tapashvi yoga here. So Ketu fights within the borders as a soldier, protecting the borders, showing perfectionism, especially in the Trikona to Navamsha Lagna. And it's also showing this small machine like electronics. Also is showing a family, and is also showing the being an elite when it's connected to the Aruda Lagna. So you can also see this Ketu is exalted Vargotam on the Rashi and Navamsha Lagna. So normally the Shastra are saying that for royal people born in high influential families, we should expect Atmakaraka related to the Navamsha Lagna. In this case, Atmakaraka, the planet with the highest degrees, is in the Navamsha. Navamsha is the chart of fortune, and Lagna is the ascendant. So it's in the ascendant, in the first house. Ascendant is the first house of that Navamsha chart, right? So, and the Jupiter is lording that. So Jupiter is lording that Lagna. This is showing this royal start of this person. Navamsha Lagna is about the birth. Now, if you use the normal Vimshotri Dasha, the demise, the current period is Jupiter Rahu, and we say that the Maraka planets are showing death because they are in the 12th from the 3rd and 8th. And the logic is that 12 is the lost, and 3rd and 8 are the houses of longevity. Now 8 is the standard house of longevity. Now 8 from the 8 is the 3rd house. So 3rd and 8 are the houses of longevity. 12 lost from that is the 2nd and 7th. And in this chart we see Jupiter is in 2nd, Rahu is in 7th. So the Maraka get activated, and this is not always so easily. We can use a different chart for this, different dashas for this, to see this Maraka potential, this Maraka philosophy, which should be activated in the dasha somehow. So there's a lot of research where this is exactly going, which dasha this is exactly showing. But we can also go to the Navamsha 12th house, and if we use the Adana Vimshotri, because Moon is in the 8th, if Moon is in the 8th, we are using the Adana Vimshotri, then we have this Mars and Ketu, and Mars and Ketu would be related to the 12th house. Now someone will tell me, oh, you are justifying this using the Adana Tara. But when we use the Vimshotri Dasha, Jupiter Rahu, then this is very much connected also to 12 in Navamsha, because Jupiter is with the 12th Lord and Rahu is 12th Lord Mars dispositor. So very much both Dashas, Vimshotri Dasha and Adana Dasha, they are showing the 12th house in the Navamsha. The exact circumstances of death are usually shown in the 3rd from the Aruda Lagna. So Lagna Lord in the 2nd house will put the Aruda in the 3rd, because this is the reflection. We are calculating the same amount of houses. If you want to learn how to calculate the Aruda or Rupapada, then just see this video here. So Lagna Lord in this case is in the 2nd house, Aruda is in 3rd, and we have Venus, which is aspecting the 3rd from Aruda Lagna, which is showing relatively peaceful death. This is in Aries, right? So this is also showing the place, the London or the capital, and the sun is there, which shows being surrounded by all this also influential people, like dying in the palace, we could say symbolically. So that is shown by the 3rd from the Aruda Lagna. If you like to have your chart analyzed, the Rasi, Navamsha, Dashamsa, the main points in your chart with the dashas and the remedies, please click the email below and we can schedule the consultation for you. Okay guys, so if you'd like to get more details about how to analyze the Graha Malika Yoga and get some few more examples, then of course after clicking the like button, please watch this video.